So welcome guys back to another video in the channel. We're doing another episode of Arsenal Transfer News Daily, and today we are going to be talking about quite a lot of breaking news because the main one is Julian Brandt, whatever you want to call him, and what a baller we've been linked to. He is a really good player and we'll get into him. But in other news, Balogun has been linked to the move away, this time to Liverpool, and the board are considering Tuchel as a potential replacement to Mikel Arteta if things do go sour over the next few weeks. But the first one we're going to look at is Julian Brandt. Now again, he is a player I rate a lot and I think he would be a big name for us. And looking at the potential price, now according to Transfer Market, which is where I'm getting my information from today, is his value is around 31 to 35 million pounds. Now again, that isn't a lot of money, but obviously in the current market, teams want more for their money, and dealing with Borussia Dortmund isn't always easy. And the last time we did deal with Borussia Dortmund, as you all know, was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's deal. I think in that deal we were aided more with the fact that we had Sven Mislintat and his links to Dortmund, which made deals for Socrates and Aubameyang much easier. But now we don't have Mislintat, so dealing with Dortmund is very hard, as Manchester United found it to be when dealing with the deal for Jadon Sancho. Now Dortmund only deal with two intermediaries. Now this makes things very slow in terms of trying to negotiate a deal. And with how Arsenal were shrewd with the deal of Houssem Aouar in the summer, fighting over every penny, it seemed like, it's going to be very hard dealing with Dortmund this time round, especially with this deal for Julian Brandt, because obviously he's a player who's so useful right now for Dortmund. I think in terms of who they would have to replace him, I think they already have the perfect replacement from Jude Bellingham, but again would have to see what Dortmund's stance is on that, because that's not really in our favour either. And obviously with their managerial situation, would they let someone go right now, or would they not? Would they want to do business in January? We have to be really quick on it, and I think Arsenal would probably have to match any price Dortmund say, because we wouldn't have that much time in the January window in terms of matches, trying to play matches, trying to be proactive and trying to get a deal done as soon as possible. Having a little look at the stats, his best season, I think, in terms of all his stats, were probably the 2015-16 season and the 2017-18 season. Probably the 2015-16 season, when 29 matches, he had 9 goals and 3 assists. In the last season, 19-20, he actually had 3 goals and 7 assists in Bundesliga, coupled with 2 goals and 2 assists in 2 matches in the DFB Pokal. And he played 7 matches in the Champions League and scored 2 goals with 1 yellow card, and 1 yellow card in the Bundesliga as well. And in the DFB Super Cup, he also scored 1 goal in 1 match. So Julian Brandt does look like a player, he combines with the assists, combines in the works. And I think he is a number 10, or, we'll look at his positions right now actually. Looking at his positions, his main position is attacking midfield, which is where we do need to strengthen. Other positions do include central midfield, so maybe a bit deeper. If we were to get someone like an Isco, Christian Eriksen, maybe Julian Brandt could sit below that. And another position he can play is a left winger. Again, we do have a lot of wingers, but again, he could be deployed there if need be, and I think as an inside forward kind of player, just to make those incision passes, linking up with the likes of Martinelli, Kieran Tierney, Julian Brandt could be a good player in that aspect as well. But again, those are his stats and his positions, and his value, as I said, is around 35 million euros, 35 million pounds, something around that price. How much could we get him for? Because that's obviously his value. I'm not too sure how much Dortmund would ask for Julian Brandt, but my thinking would be a similar price to Houssem Aouar, which is between 40 to 45 million pounds. That's what Arsenal want. That's what Lyon want for Houssem Aouar, and I think that's what probably Dortmund would want for Julian Brandt to get this deal done. It's going to be a very difficult one, but if Arsenal want to be proactive, they want to get business done early, they'll probably have to match any price Dortmund come up with. I know it's not the easiest thing, but again, it would have to be done. There's no concrete reports on Julian Brandt, but he has been linked to Arsenal today and yesterday, so I think it's a deal. It could potentially be in the pipeline, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, that is the news that we have been linked with Julian Brandt. Next bit of news is on Folarin Balogun, as Liverpool reportedly plotting a swoop for Arsenal youngster Folarin Balogun on a free transfer. He is a free agent in the summer and is still no closer to reaching an agreement with Arsenal, as the striker attracts interest from Liverpool and clubs in Germany. Balogun has rejected previous offers from Arsenal due to concerns over a lack of first team opportunities and looks like he could leave in the summer. Arsenal turned down a bid from Sheffield United as they demanded a higher asking price but could now lose him for nothing. According to The Athletic, Liverpool are one of several clubs monitoring Balogun's situation with the view of signing him on a free at the end of the season. Due to Balogun's age, interested suitors must wait until he is out of contract before making official approach, which keeps the advantage with Arsenal for now. The Gunners are hopeful of tying down Balogun to a new deal after Mikel Arteta handed the youngster his senior debut in October. Since then, he has racked up a total of 5 appearances, scoring 2 in the process, 1 against Dundalk, 1 against Molde. New York-born Balogun impressed in Arsenal's youth system with a standout goal-scoring record, 25 goals in 19 appearances, and has shown his finishing qualities with strikes against Molde and Dundalk in the Europa League, as I already said. Liverpool have snapped up young talent in similar fashion in the past, having prized Dominic Solanke from Chelsea for nothing before selling him on for £20 million 2 years later. But boss Mikel Arteta insists Balogun wants to continue his career in North London. Speaking earlier this month, Arteta said, "We are having some discussions with the player. He knows we want to retain him at the club. We know the length of his contract at the moment is an issue, but we are trying to resolve it in the best possible way. We want him to stay, and he told me he wants to stay at the club, so hopefully we can reach an agreement and extend the contract." Negotiations are said to be ongoing between Balogun and Arsenal, though both parties are some way off concluding a deal. And while Liverpool are interested, there is competition from clubs in Germany not known, a prospect which is believed to be attracting Balogun's interest more so than staying in the Premier League. So yeah, Balogun, he's a player that's impressed us all, but he's not really got into any Premier League squads, has he? So I think, yeah, he needs to get more opportunities. I don't know why he's not getting into Premier League squads. You know, now we can have 9 substitutes. Yes, we can't have 9 players on the bench, not 5 substitutes on. We can only have 3 substitutes, but we can have 9 people on the bench. And I'm not sure why Balogun isn't getting into that, because Aubameyang wasn't fit against Chelsea, so why not put a fully fit Balogun? I'd rather have a fully fit Balogun than a half fit Aubameyang on the bench. It's simple as that, because I think a full fit Balogun could offer us something if we were losing to Chelsea, but obviously we won the game very comfortably in the end, 3-1. But I think with Balogun, he's a very good player. I've seen enough from him already that he can be a top class striker, but we need to give him more opportunities, especially in the Premier League, especially when we are giving opportunities to the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe. I think we have to give some chance, I guess, to Balogun, because, you know, if you give Balogun chance in the next few games and he performs really, really well in the Premier League, then that saves you money going to buy a striker in the January window then, because if Balogun's doing so well, you don't need to buy a striker. It's as simple as that. And I think in the future as well, saves a lot of money, you know, and it could gain a lot of money if he becomes a world-class striker, £100+ million like that. You know, youngsters are worth a lot more nowadays. So I think for Balogun, it's important for us to tie him down to a new deal. It could be one of the biggest business we do in January, but again, managerial situation, which we'll go on to, will it be a thing in this? I'm not too sure, but Arteta has said that Balogun wants to stay in North London, stay with Arsenal. We'll have to see how that one goes. But yeah, that is the news that Balogun has been linked to Liverpool and clubs in Germany and could be out on his way on a free if Arsenal do not agree a deal and give him the opportunities of first team appearances. So what do you guys think? Should he tie down to a new contract, or could Arsenal let him go? Do you see Arsenal letting him go on a free? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. The last bit of news is on Thomas Tuchel, as Arsenal reportedly eyeing him up as a potential alternative to Mikel Arteta if he were to be sacked. Now obviously Thomas Tuchel was with PSG, and before that he was with Borussia Dortmund. We're going to have a quick look at what he won. So we'll look with Paris Saint-Germain first, because that's where he really won a lot. Only at Dortmund he only won the German Cup, Winners' Cup. And for Paris Saint-Germain, he won the French League Cup once, he won the French Cup once, and he won 2 Ligue 1s. So that's pretty much all Thomas Tuchel has won. It's people are comparing him to Jurgen Klopp, and I think the only reason Arsenal would bring him in to, you know, drive the PR to be like, oh, he's our Klopp, we're following the Liverpool model. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal do that. It's a very Arsenal-like thing to do, but yeah, well, I just have to see what happens in that respect. But I think Thomas Tuchel, in my opinion, I would take him, but he wouldn't be my first choice. That's the sort of thing I'm going off, because he's won a lot at Paris, but you know, Unai Emery won a lot at Paris. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. The one bonus of, you know, with Thomas Tuchel, he's managed the likes of Neymar, Mbappe, big name players in that Paris Saint-Germain team. He's controlled the big heads like Cavani as well. So I think with Thomas Tuchel, he will control the dressing room and he will bring discipline. I know Mikel Arteta tries to do that, but Arteta doesn't have any experience and Thomas Tuchel does. Would I trust the process with Thomas Tuchel? Would I give him time? I think I would give him time. I wouldn't blast him off straight away, because I think he is a person who has experience, who knows what he's doing at times, and I would give him a year or two to see what he can implement into this squad. And if we do see progression progression, then why not stick with it? You could be your own Klopp, you never know. But again, with Thomas Tuchel, Arsenal board were considering him after we sacked Arsene Wenger, but we eventually went after Unai Emery. I think Tuchel was in a job at that point with Borussia Dortmund, if I'm not too mistaken, or he was at Paris Saint-Germain already appointed as the PSG manager when Unai Emery was sacked. But then we ended up going after Unai Emery, and even after we sacked Unai Emery, we weren't interested in Thomas Tuchel. So our board does like Thomas Tuchel, and the fact that he has just been sacked by Paris Saint-Germain means he is available. So if Arsenal board really like him, then, you know, sacking Arteta seems like a more viable option to bring him in. So you never know, this could be something that speeds up Arteta's sacking in the next few games. You know, we got Brighton. Again, I think Brighton, West Brom, they're two big games because it shows, can we kick on now? You know, we've had a brilliant win against Chelsea. Can we kick on? And if we don't, then maybe it's time for Arteta to go. And I think that's what the board might be thinking, and Thomas Tuchel could be an opportunity. What do you guys think about Thomas Tuchel? Would you take him at Arsenal or not? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And that concludes this day's Arsenal Transfer News Daily. What do you guys think of all the topics? Would you take Julian Brandt over Houssem Aouar? Would you take would you let Balogun leave, or do you really want him to stay? And would you take Thomas Tuchel at Arsenal? Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.